I will call the regular meeting of the Everman City Council to order. It is Tuesday, September 26, 2023, and the time is 6:31 p.m. If everybody please rise for a moment of silence, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Okay, so we're going to jump around a little bit. We're going to drop down to item 5, presentations. Going to drop down to item B, proclamation declaring October 5th, 2023 as Everman Teachers Day. Okay, so proclamation declaring October 5th, 2023 as Everman Teachers Day, whereas the city of Everman's future strength depends on providing a high quality education to all students, and whereas teachers' quality matters more to student achievement than any other school related factor, and whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lesson plans and supporting students, and whereas our Everman Independent School District teachers have demonstrated great resilience, adaptability, and creativity during the COVID-19 crisis, and whereas our community recognizes and supports its teachers in educating the children of this community, and whereas #Teachers Can is a statewide movement supported by more than 150 partnering businesses and organizations committed to elevating the teaching profession, honoring the critical role teachers play in the success of Texas, and be it proclaimed by the City Council of the City of Everman that the Everman City Council joins #Teachers Can and its partnering entities across Texas is celebrating World Teachers Day and proclaim October 5th, 2023 to be Everman Teachers Day. The Everman City Council encourages members of our community to personally express appreciation to our teachers and display a light blue ribbon outside their homes or businesses the week of October 5th as a symbol of support for our educators. So I don't know if you all want to come up or. Come on. Let's get all of our teachers up here. All of y'all, come on, everybody. Don't be shy. Everybody.
I can bend. No.
Y'all are gonna have to squeeze in.
We appreciate you guys. So
We're a little light on this side too. I don't know if a couple want to see.
we're going to need to get us some bleachers or something.
Thank you.
I'm gonna squeeze in a little bit more. I've got a little room right over here in front, a couple over here, squeeze right over here. Next to Dr. Donovan.
Yeah.
A couple squeeze right over here next to Dr. Donovan.
Thank you.
I'm so tall.
This is the biggest camera I've ever seen. All right, hold on, don't move. Wonderful. All right.
But once again, we truly appreciate all that you guys do for our community. So,
You want to say anything?
let's see. Must turn that off. Oh.
Mayor, I think Dr. Donaldson was going to
CFO, Sheriff.
Good evening, Mayor Richardson, and to Everman City Council. On behalf of Everman ISD and all of the phenomenal educators, thank you so much for this recognition and the proclamation. We truly value you and the entire City Council and City of Everman in partnership. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next time we'll go up to item A, swearing in ceremony, Everman Police Officer Cornelio Cristobal.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight I am, I have the privilege to introduce to you Officer, where'd you go? Come back up here.
I'm sorry.
Don't walk away. Officer Cornelio Cristobal. So
Hello, everybody.
he is well known to many of us here as Corn. That's what we've called him. He has actually been with the city for a little while. He joined as a volunteer fighter when you were 18,
21.
21.
Mhm.
Served with the fire department for a few years. Was here for quite some time and then ended up taking a leave to go to the police academy, pursued a law enforcement career, decided that Everman is the best place to come back and work and wanted to come here and work here as a police officer. So we're glad to steal him from places to bring him here and have him as a part of our community. So I'm just here to introduce him to you tonight and to swear him in as a official police officer with us. Who's going to be pinning you?
Right there.
You want to come? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you hold on to this. What's your name?
Annalise.
Say that one more time.
Annalise.
Annalise?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you hold on to that. All right, if you'll raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Cornelio Cristobal,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of City of Everman,
of City of Everman,
Police Officer
police officer
of the State of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best
and will to the best
of my ability
of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state.
and of the state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sign right here. All right. And then if you just want
Mhm.
to, really hard. Did you get it? All right. You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
You want you want those three little ones up here?
Thing one, thing two, thing three.
Aw,
No.
cute.
Ah, María Maxi.
Oh, dressed up.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'll give that to you. You got your hands full, so.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So we're going to go ahead and get the proclamations out of the way. Next proclamation is for National Night Out. Okay, proclamation declaring October 3rd, 2023 is National Night Out. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch is sponsoring its 40th annual nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program on October 3rd, 2023, entitled National Night Out. And whereas the 40th annual Night Out provides a unique opportunity for citizens of Everman to join forces with thousands of communities across the state of Texas in promoting cooperative police, community, crime, and drug prevention efforts. And whereas the National Night Out event is a year-long community building campaign designed to heighten crime prevention awareness, generate support and participation in local anti-crime programs, strengthen neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships, and send a message to criminals to let them know that neighborhoods are organized and are fighting back. And whereas the citizens play a vital role in assisting the Everman Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts, be it proclaimed by the City Council of the City of Everman that the Everman City Council joins the Everman Police Department and its partnering entities across Texas in crime and drug prevention, and proclaims October 3rd, 2023 as National Night Out. All citizens are encouraged to participate in this event. So somebody go, oh. Okay, we got one more, I promise. Next one's proclamation for Fire Prevention Week. Okay, proclamation for Fire Prevention Week. Whereas 101 years ago, on the 40th anniversary of the Great Chicago Fire, Fire Marshals Association of North America determined that the anniversary should henceforth be observed in ways to keep the public informed about the importance of fire prevention. And whereas homes fires killed more than 2,800 people in the United States in 2021, according to the National Fire Protection Administration, and fire departments in the United States responded to 338,000 home fires. And whereas cooking is the leading cause of home fires in the United States, and fire department responded to more than 166,400 annually between 2016 and 2020. And whereas 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, with 31% of these fires resulting from unattended cooking. And whereas more than half of reported non-fatal home cooking fire injuries occurred when the victims tried to fight the fire themselves. And whereas children under 5 face a higher risk of non-fire burns associated with cooking while being burned in a cooking fire. And whereas Texas residents should turn pot handles toward the back of the stove, always keep a lid nearby when cooking, keep a 3-foot kid-free zone around the stove, oven, and other things that could get hot. Watch what they heat and set a timer to remind them that they are cooking. And whereas the Everman Fire Department is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas the 2023 Fire Prevention Week theme, cooking safety starts with you, pay attention to fire prevention, effectively serves to remind us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Everman City Council that October the 8th through the 14th, 2023 is hereby deemed as Fire Prevention Week in the city of Everman. The city council urges all citizens to check their kitchens for fire hazards, use fire cooking practices, and support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Everman Fire Department. I'm tired of reading.
Come on. You got confused. Got it. Awesome.
Okay, so we're going to go back up to item 4, consent agenda, item A, financials for July 2023 and August 2023. And then minutes from July 11th, 2023, regular council meeting minutes, July 18th, 2023, council workshop meeting minutes, July 18th, 2023, regular council meeting minutes, July 21st, 2023, council workshop meeting minutes, August 1st, 2023, council workshop meeting minutes, August 1st, 2023, regular council meeting minutes, August 15th, 2023, regular council meeting minutes, and then August 22nd, 2023, special council meeting minutes. I'm going to take a break. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read. Second.
You don't want to read it?
No.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
I noticed on one of the expenses, code enforcement has been has increased. What is that for?
If we're gonna ask questions on the consent agenda, we need to move that item into regular agenda. So you can ask that it be moved to regular agenda and then ask questions.
Any other questions or comments? Hold the council.
Hold on, Mayor. I think the
Oh.
question would be, so you got clarification, is do we need to move that off of consent agenda to discuss it? It can, the attorney's advising, you can ask questions. You can ask a clarification question about the report, but to deliberate on it or ask further detailed questions, it needs to be a discussion item because it's on the consent agenda. So the question I think is, do we need to move that off consent agenda as a regular agenda item to discuss it, or do you just want to proceed with the consent agenda on it?
What do you want to do? Just. So we good?
Yep.
Okay. Will you poll the council?
Yes, place 1,
Aye.
place 2.
Aye.
Place 3,
No.
place 5,
Aye.
place 6.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay. So we're going to drop down to citizens' comments. Nothing. Next item, discussion items. Item A, staff report, water system resiliency and backup power.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put this on your radar. Unfortunately, Gilbert decided to schedule a vacation when this has to come before council. I found that convenient, but needed to bring it to your attention. So as a part of our ongoing inspections through TCEQ and trying to improve our resiliency, one of the items that's been identified with TCEQ is the lack of backup power at our well sites. And we've talked about this many times before, particularly since we experienced the winter storm back in 2020, I believe, 2021. We talked about not having a backup source. And looking at some different options, TCEQ has now said it is a requirement. We have to provide some sort of backup power. And we have to provide a plan to them on how we're going to provide that backup power. So we've looked at a couple of different options. One of those options was obviously generator power is what we're looking for. A generator the size that is required to power one full well site is a 400 kVA generator. That generator cost anywhere between $350,000 and $500,000. It's a very expensive investment for one well site. We have multiple well sites. So we've been trying to assess the best way to move forward. One of the options that we looked at was potentially leasing a generator or having an agreement with a company to provide that size generator on standby for us in the event of an emergency. The cost of an agreement like that was going to be about $70,000 a year. And at that cost, I informed the director of public works, I think the city would be better off just investing in purchasing one and financing it out. So we are looking at those options now. He has priced out a couple of different ones through Buy Board. I believe the cheapest option we've been able to come up with is around $350,000, $375,000. It's a trailer mounted 500 kVA generator that would meet the requirements of TCEQ to make sure that the city is compliant with backup power sources. We are looking at trying to find a government capital financing option for us to pay this out over 5 to 7 years. Because again, if we're going to spend $70,000 a year, I would rather spend it on something that we're going to actually acquire rather than just an agreement that we're going to have to renew. And actually have an asset at the end of this. So that's what we're looking at now. I just wanted to kind of bring it to your attention because it's probably going to be forthcoming on one of the next few agendas for a little bit more in-depth discussion and potential approval on this.
And we only need to purchase one. Or do
We-
need one for each?
If we can supply power to the Shelby well site, which is our highest producing water well site, then we will be compliant with TCEQ. That will give us what we need to be compliant. So yes, as of now, we only need to supply one. Long-term plan and best practice is going to be, we need to look at supplying multiple further down the road. But to get us started and make sure that we're compliant with TCEQ, we need to supply one.
When did you first become aware that this was needed?
Gosh, probably 4 or 5 months ago when Gilbert was working with TCEQ on evaluations of our systems, as he came in and was conducting the evaluations and assuring compliance, was when this was one of the items that was recognized as a part of that.
So why didn't we discuss it and think about budgeting for it?
Well, we have been, but we've been on the back end, staff has been researching what the different viable options will be to go forward, because we don't want to just bring it to you without a solution. So for the last 6 months, there's been a significant amount of research on what the different options are, so we can bring those options to you as hopeful final decisions for you to approve.
And when is it needed? When is it needed?
He's already had to report a plan to TCEQ, and the plan right now is that the city of Everman is looking at options to acquire one within the next year. TCEQ wants us to have one now. It's a requirement on the system. Now, the other downside of that is even when we order these generators, because they are a 500 kVA generator or a 400 kVA generator, is a very rare piece of equipment. They are typically custom built when it's ordered, and the building process and ordering process can take up to a year even after we place the order.
So what will we do until that's purchased in case we have any problem?
Right now, we rely solely upon our water agreement with the city of Fort Worth to back us up. In the event that we lose power, the emergency connection that we have with the city of Fort Worth will pressurize our system to make sure that we are compliant. What we experienced with Winter Storm Uri was very unique in the fact that we had frozen lines throughout the entire city, just like many other cities. So that wasn't just due to a power outage. If we're talking about just a power outage, the Fort Worth water system can pressurize our system enough to make sure that our drinking water stays safe. For a fee, yes. A nominal fee.
Any other questions? Okay, so we'll drop down to item B, staff report events.
Just wanted to remind everybody, we do have a bunch of events coming up. First one is next week, October the 3rd is National Night Out. We've been working pretty hard on getting this put together. We've added a couple of new things this year, including some demonstrations and stuff. So we're excited about this year's National Night Out event. That'll be next Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then following that, about 2 weeks or a week after that, we've got Battle of the Badges softball game, a charity softball game. We are really excited about that. There's been a lot of effort put into this. We've had a lot of support from our sponsors, which includes actually 2 sponsors are here tonight. Tacos Oasis and Beards Towing have stepped up to sponsor the event to help us out. So we're really excited about this event and hope everybody can come out. We're actually trying to figure out a way to accommodate more seating because we're worried about how many tickets we're going to sell and if we've got enough seating out there. So we're trying to bring in some more benches to make sure that we've got enough seating. But we're excited about that event. And then starting November 1st, you will see city staff beginning to set up decorations for Christmas and getting prepared for our Christmas event. And then the Halloween trunk or treat is on the 27th October. That Friday night, October 27th. So a bunch of events coming up. Just wanted to put it on your radar. Make sure that we keep you informed of what else is happening, and we are progressing very well with them.
Any questions or comments? Next item C is staff report, public library.
So we've been working on the transition of staff, public library staff. The library is closed this week for the transition of equipment and things. So we've started moving over computers from the city library to City Hall. We've started working with some of the staff. Actually, one of those staff members is now starting to transition into her new role, which is why she's here tonight as the events coordinator to help out. She'll be at all of our council meetings, controlling sound, video, those sorts of things. She will also be working with anybody who rents the facility, making sure that they have everything they need, being their one-on-one contact, coordinating all the events here at the Civic Center. Because we didn't have a staff member assigned to that before. It was just hopefully you got a hold of somebody and we could address your issues. So we fixed that. Several of the staff members, we had a meeting earlier today. Several of them seem excited and ready to start the transition. We are planning to conduct an asset disposal, which council already approved when they passed the resolution. We will do a book sale and asset sale. We plan to do this sale on the 13th and 14th of October. I'm going to share that information with you once we have all the details finalized. I'll send that out, but we are planning to do a book sale where people can come up and buy the books and property from the library and dispose of that property appropriately. What else with it? I think we're good. We've been working with the director of the library over at Forest Hill. We have some public education material because starting October 1st, obviously everybody will transition to their library. So we'll be pushing that material out pretty heavy, probably starting this week. So everybody's aware of what the changes are. Any questions?
Okay, being none, we'll drop down to item 8, consideration of possible action. Item A, resolution number 2023-09-01, the resolution of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with JDB Towing Limit LLC, a Texas limited liability company doing business as Beards Towing for wrecker and impound services and provide an effective date. I will entertain a motion.
I make the motion to approve resolution 2023-09-01 as read. I second.
Motion made and seconded. We'll open it up for discussion.
I heard James Bennett's here tonight. If you'd like to allow him to make a presentation.
Come on up,
Council.
James.
The one and only. Oh, I do.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager. I'd like to, first of all, thank you for considering us again to be a partner in the city of Everman. As discussed before, we've had a great partnership. And as far as the seating, for our family events internal with our company, we purchased, I think it's 20 tables and 200 chairs. So we'd be more than happy to volunteer that up for seating for the events coming up. However, outside of that, I feel it's been a great partnership for us. Nobody likes to get their car towed. I mean, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Nobody wants it towed, but we try to do the best that we can and make it as seamless as possible, as well as give back to the community. So if you've got any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Where are you located?
We're just right outside the Forest Hill into Fort Worth, and we're building a new facility that will also be Arlington adjacent Fort Worth, which is literally, I think it's like 2.4 miles from here. And that'll be a 13-acre facility that also will have backup generators, and we have our own fuel supply, which we supply to the city of Everman as well, Chief, as we service your generators right now at the police station, along with the city vehicles that we do our part to give back, and we tow those for the city at no cost.
Okay, so the automobiles that you pick up in Everman will be towed to your location outside of Forest Hill?
Correct. Yes.
James, do you mind going in just a little bit about what's real special about your company, the special resources and equipment that you can provide that nobody else can, your rescue
Absolutely.
operations?
So we not only are we just a towing company, but we provide first responder training. Both chiefs actually, sorry, can kind of elaborate on it, but we do incident management training for highway accidents that for the training on police officers and fire department. We do heavy and light duty extrication victim trainings for people that are trapped in vehicles, which I believe we will have this coming up at one of the events. We'll have a live demonstration that the fire department will be putting on, as well as we do a lot of tactical events at our facility with narcotics training with animals. Last year, we had 13 different municipalities do their canine training at our facility, to where they're able to spot drugs and bombs, and firearms as well. So there's a list of things. We've got backhoes, bulldozers, excavators. By December 20th, if everything goes okay with shipping, we'll be up to 50 units. We just secured the entire city of Arlington contract. So we do both the PD and the city-owned equipment. And just that's a milestone in the wrecker industry in the state of Texas. Arlington is the largest city that holds one vendor to facilitate that. And we just did our evaluation coming up on our first year, and we scored 100 across the board on everything that we've done.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's very good at underselling himself when he talks to council. He's very humble. But I'm telling you that Beard Drecker and James Bennett and his team are the absolute best in the business that have been able to provide us with resources that no other towing company would ever be able to even come close to touching. And the fact that our emergency services crews can literally call him and have called him at 1-2 o'clock in the morning on very critical incidents. And he can have his crew there with technical resources that we don't have to help save lives and resolve an incident in just a matter of minutes. So it's been incredible to work with him. I've never worked at any other agency where we've had that kind of relationship that we do here, and to have that kind of resource available to our residents is absolutely incredible. And they treat our residents like they're customers, and they treat them very, very nicely. They do everything they can to take care of everybody that they can. And that matters as well to them. So
I saw your company work at the accident on 35 on the ice. It was amazing.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing.
Thank
You
you.
did a wonderful job.
So that, if you have not read the article, I'd be more than happy to get that for all of you. But that was a 18.5 hour day, and 9-degree weather. And we had cleared 133 vehicles in that 18.5 hours. And then it was approved by TxDOT and TTS, or the Texas Tollway Authority, for road use. Obviously, it was still closed for the fatal investigations, but that's one side that you think of a wrecker company. So I personally helped pull out every victim in that accident, the 6 deceased and the 21 injured people. This is a very hands-on deal, which is why we do this extrication training. There's no other wrecker service in the state of Texas that offers this. And in the Texas Tow Show that we just recently had, there were 64 wrecker services from across the United States that came to our facility to take part in that training. Not boasting or anything. I just want you to know the depths that we go. I spent $68,000 putting that training on. And so no firefighter that took that course, our city had to pay for that, and they all got certified out of it. That's on the fire department side. On the police department side, we have what's called chain of custody bays. And in these chain of custody bays, they are recorded 24/7. We give the city the option to have a log into it. And that way, if it's a murder, sex trafficking, homicide, this vehicle will go into this bay. It will be recorded 24/7. It will have access that is a live link. And then on top of that, we will download it when the vehicle is put in there into a USB drive. And to give you a great, for instance, we did a city that's pretty much touches Everman. There were 13 young ladies in the stand. And so that held up in a grand jury court. And those 13 ladies went home. And I'm emotional about it because it's a big deal for us. 5 people were arrested and charged and indicted on that. So that's a big deal.
Thank you for your service.
That's amazing.
Sorry. I apologize.
Are you with Forest Hill? Do you have an agreement with Forest Hill?
We do. We have the same agreement that is laid out before you with Arlington, Mansfield, Kennedale, Forest Hill, and hopefully tonight, Everman. So I think if we keep all of our resources right here in this corner, it better serves everybody that you guys touch because our facility, if it operates the same on our side, then if you guys are working with Forest Hill, then each hand knows what the next hand's capable of and the resources that are at an arm's length away.
Well, my 37 years of fire and EMS, I've never had a record driver do that. They showed up and basically got in the way. They were just worried about getting a car. So I'm excited to see it that, you're offering things that the other agencies don't.
Well,
So,
and one thing that we also do for our employees is the only thing that we do not provide for them is socks and underwear. They're socks and underwear. We provide boots, pants, undershirts, overshirts, jackets, beanies, gloves, and this is a routine, it's a continuous deal. When they wear them out, they get them again. It doesn't matter if you've worked here for 1 month or you've worked here for 10 years. You'll start here and you'll have brand new boots and you'll be completely decked out from head to toe. If we don't look professional and we're out there representing you as a city, then you're probably not going to want to keep doing business with us. We don't wear shorts and we don't wear tennis shoes on scene. We came to do a day's work. So.
And one thing I do want to point out to council is this is really a contract renewal. So we are already engaged with Beards and have been for a long period of time. And it is working. I mean, it works wonderfully. Everything that he's talked about, we've utilized to some level. I think we've occupied most of his crime scene bays in the last couple of weeks for some reason or another. We've had to utilize them quite a bit. But
We're building 10 more right now.
yeah, it's probably because of us. It is.
Well, that was gonna be my next question. What would, why the agreement? But you said we've already been working with them.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, for a long period of time, and it is working wonderfully. Without this agreement, I can tell you, I would honestly be dumbfounded on where to turn if we had an incident or had to do something different. I don't know where else I would go. So this is certainly a renewal. It's staff recommendation for approval. This isn't what I'm talking about isn't really business competitive. He is offering things that other towing businesses cannot offer. They just don't offer it. So it's a service that we've got to have, and it's available to us and our residents.
And in this contract, another purpose for obviously is just to bring it up to date with state code. And there's a lot of new things that were passed out September 1st. The towing industry is very heavily regulated. I'm not sure if people are aware of that, but the people that come to our facility, they get a copy of their rights and everything. However, our business, it is probably, if not the top 5, then it's definitely in the top 10 most heavily regulated. All your pricing has to be approved. If you do not have an approved pricing, then it defaults into the state's pricing. And it's just a redundancy that goes on throughout there. So it just brings city up to code, keeping us and you guys in good graces with the state.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
do we have any other questions or comments for James?
No.
Okay, with that being said, James, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Councilwoman Renfro did notice there was a typo on page 36 under Article 1, terms and early termination. It says for a period of 3 years, in parentheses, it says 5. Need to figure it.
So basically, under advice of the attorney, that's what's essentially Scribner's error. It's a definition. It is for sure meant to be a 3. It's a typo. It's not something that needs to be addressed in the agreement.
Okay, we need to correct this. before
It's
we
a
sign it.
harmless error. Yeah, it can be,
It's-
it can be.
Yeah, you don't even have to change it in the motion. It's insubstantial, so you can approve the motion as read, and we'll take care of it on staff end.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So, okay, with that being said, if there's no more discussion, would you poll the council?
Yes. Place 1,
Aye.
place 2,
Aye.
place 3,
Aye.
place 5, place 6. Aye. Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, next item B, resolution number 2023-09-02, a resolution of the city council of the city of Everman, Texas, approving and authorizing execution of a First Amendment to the interlocal agreement between the city of Everman, Texas, and the city of Forest Hill, Texas, for rabies control and the shared use of the city of Everman animal shelter and providing an effective date. Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion to approve resolution 2023-09-02 as read. Second.
Who'd you get for second, Mindy?
Miriam.
Okay.
Mhm.
Motion made and seconded. Do we have any discussion?
Or any of the fees, have any of the fees changed?
No, so no, this is for shared use. No, we're not charging the city of Forest Hill for shared use of our shelter under this agreement. There's no charge to the city of Forest Hill. We do charge their residents in accordance with our fee schedule for any of the services, but there's no charge directly to the city of Forest Hill underneath this shared use agreement.
Any other questions? Just poll the council.
Place 1,
Aye.
place 2,
Aye.
place 3, place 5,
Aye.
place 6. Aye. Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Item C, resolution number 2023-09-03, a resolution of the city council of the city of Everman, Texas, approving and authorizing execution of a First Amendment to an interlocal agreement for animal control officer services with the city of Forest Hill, Texas, and providing an effective date. So we need to correct that or, figure out what's going on. So I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2023-09-03 as read.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? You got anything to add to this, Craig, or?
Just that this is a renewal, $75,000 for the next year. We'll provide animal control, full animal control services to the city of Forest Hill.
How many employees do they have?
They don't have any, so we employ the staff now, and our animal control division has 2 full-time employees and 2 part-time kennel techs right now. So a total of 4 staff. And that covers Everman and Forest Hill.
Any other discussion? Just poll the council.
Place 1,
Aye.
place 2,
Aye.
place 3, place 5,
Aye.
place 6. Aye. Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Item D, resolution number 2023-09-04, resolution of the city council of the city of Everman, Texas, authorizing execution of an interlocal cooperation establishing concurrent law enforcement jurisdiction between the cities of Everman and Forest Hill and providing an effective date. Is that worded correctly, Craig? What's that?
Yes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023-09-04 as read.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
What exactly is it?
This is the law enforcement concurrent jurisdiction agreement, essentially granting Everman Police lawful jurisdiction within the city of Forest Hill and Forest Hill Police lawful jurisdiction within the city of Everman, specifically for events for mutual aid. Currently, it's not uncommon for if Forest Hill Police are busy and unable to respond to a call, Everman Police are asked to go and respond to that call. We're just making sure that we have lawful jurisdiction if we have to address any issues over there. There is statewide underneath the occupations code. We do have statewide jurisdiction under certain offenses, but not typically for misdemeanor offenses. So that's why we want to make sure that both agencies have the ability to address issues in the event that we have to go into each other's city. It also opens up the door for us to be able to pursue granting opportunities for things like special traffic enforcement programs, provide additional assistance if we're going to pursue those high intensity. If we're going to do any kind of high intensity impact zones or anything to try to deter crime, that sort of thing. just very similar to what we just executed with the city of Fort Worth.
That's what I thought it was. I thought Forest Hill was also included in that.
This is a separate agreement with Forest Hill for that, but this does grant full jurisdiction in each city for each agency.
Any other discussion? Poll the council.
Place one,
Aye.
place two,
Aye.
place three,
Aye.
place five,
Aye.
place six. Aye. Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Next item, item D, discuss and take necessary action to remove and appoint members of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. I added this. We voted on 5 members for this board and 3 still have not shown up to be sworn in. So, and we've had 3 other individuals show up that want to be a part of this board. So I would like to consider removing the 3 and appointing the 3 that did show interest in the board. So we can get that board moving forward. So
One individual did submit an application way back. And I had asked you, Craig, had you, regarding her application, and you said that, you know, some had to be removed before she could be added. I couldn't tell you what her name is.
well, that may be one of the 3.
Will this be voted on at the next meeting
Well, I
to
mean,
remove?
we can
and
take
to add?
action. We can take action tonight.
Do not recall her name.
I've got looking online at the applications that were submitted online, and I know that Mindy's received 2 in person and they're here tonight. Who have applied to be on the board. I've got a Judith Graham.
That's her, Graham.
That's her. Okay. She did not indicate, she did submit an application for a board or commission. On the application, she did not indicate which board she wished to serve on. Which is probably why it's just been kind of sitting there in limbo.
Well, like I said,
Um,
when I mentioned that to you, you said, you know, someone would have to be taken off before.
Yeah, so council has appointed 5 members to this board. Unfortunately, only two have been sworn in. The other 3 have not been sworn in. And therefore, the board hasn't even met, taken any action. Nobody's even been appointed as president of the board. The board's just been sitting idle because we've had those 3 that just have not come in. So the first step that council would need to take would be to remove the 3 members, the 3 inactive members who have not been sworn in. And then council can move forward with making nominations or appointments, however the attorney advised on the other ones.
One of the actions you could also take is simply table this until the next meeting, allow Craig to get you a better idea of what applicants we could actually pick between, which applicants need to be removed, because at this point, we're kind of moving in a state where we don't have it nailed down. Here's who would be interested, here's who we not want to remove. So it might be one of the actions you could take would be to actually table this, let him have an opportunity to get that aligned for you, distribute it, and then take action at the next council meeting.
So they haven't even been sworn in.
No. But we did vote them on to the board, but they have not shown up to be sworn in. So, and I would just feel comfortable removing them and adding these 3 people that are showing interest.
Is there any clause anywhere that once they're appointed, if they don't show up, I guess I don't think there is in the charter. It says if they don't show up to be sworn in or complete paperwork, that they just forfeit their appointment.
That would be something I would even have to research.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable giving you a definitive answer here. My belief would be that it's a failure of duty, obviously, so it would vacate that appointment. Technically, you haven't even accepted that appointment. But that'd be something that I'm not really comfortable giving you a definitive answer on at this moment until I can look into it.
That's something we can do in the future, or we need to do with our board appointments.
Yeah, so I believe, so the only 2 members of the board that have been sworn in are Councilwoman Allen and Doreen Seals. Those are the only 2 who,
Bobby Montgomery.
I don't think Bobby's been sworn in
Me
yet.
and her were supposed to sworn in together.
And together? Okay, then if it was Bobby, then Doreen Seals has not been sworn in. So she's one of the three. Danny Longoria is the other one. And then I believe Jackie Johnson. I'm pretty sure those are the three. So Mayor, what we can do is I can just take general guidance from council right now. If you want me to draft it up, the language, and we can draft it up to remove those three. And then we'll have three vacancies. Do you want to hear from two of the applicants here tonight and see what they have to say about their interest on the board? And then we can language it to appoint them if you'd like.
Do you want to come up and speak?
I'm texting.
Okay, we're the Walkers. We've lived in Everman for 38 years. We are active in another senior center, and we want to get something going here for the people here.
Sounds great.
You want to tell us your names?
I'm Earl Walker. Dorothy Walker.
Okay. So I take it your husband and wife.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of sounds like we're going to put this off till the next meeting, correct? Because we have to remove the three before we can appoint.
Okay.
So is that the direction everybody's wanting to go in?
Yes.
Because I can go either way. So, okay, so we'll put it off till the next meeting.
And the names and everything too, so we'll know.
Because we would have to have the names listed and everything to remove them.
Mhm.
Right.
Sorry. I went up here recording. And then the other thing to just elaborate on is with this board, I just want to make sure that we're clear that I don't have a staff member to run the board. It's going to have to be the board that wants to take this and take charge. So they're going to have to come together and find out who's going to be the president and run the events. We just don't have I don't have a staff member. We'll have somebody assigned as a liaison, but not somebody to coordinate events, activities, all that. I mean, it'll have to be the board themselves that do that. So,
That shouldn't be a problem.
and I'm sorry.
That shouldn't be a problem. Any
Okay.
board can do that.
Okay.
All right, I just don't want to set up false expectations here. I can't meet that. So,
Well, and I know Judy Graham was interested because I spoke to her at Forest Hill at
Exactly.
the Forest Hill Drive meeting we had over there. I spoke to her then. So, and we've got replacements and it sounded like they're wanting to hit the ground running. So
We've been talking about this for how long?
Over 6 months.
Yeah, because I remember the last meeting I attended, they were talking about, how are we going to fund this?
yeah, so there's no funding in general fund right now. So that's the other objective that the board will have to come up with is how to fund programs and things, sponsorships, what kind of partnerships they can make to make this happen.
I
But
know
that'll-
the government can fund some of this.
There are grant opportunities and programs out there that are available, yes, to fund some of this, but there's nothing allocated from general fund to fund anything with senior citizen advisory board.
all right, so I guess the consensus of council is we'll put it off to the next meeting. And we'll vote on the removal of the three inactive members and appoint the three that are showing interest. We good with that?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
both. Next executive session, we have nothing. Next time, city managers report.
I don't think I've got anything.
Okay. I thought I had something, but I don't remember now. I forgot. So, okay, well, I'll save it for next meeting. All right, with that being said, then the time is 7:25 and we are adjourned. Donnie, get with her and ask her your question, the financial question you had. Just do a one-on-one.